Trans Porsche. Looks like you're first. Welcome, man. Sujo. Yo, what's good, man? Boss Moves, what's up? BK, Cali, Legacy Trader, Jamora, how's it going, man? Jace Ball, good to see you guys. Lemis Sylvie, the man that called Buck at 400K. What a legend. Parm Deep, how's it going? Henjin, 8H Straight, JSN, the gang's all rolling in. Kamanzo, Diornis, Akira, J-Spell, hopefully not the last. The General, how's it going? Jacob, yeah, of course we'll be taking questions. We're just going to wait a couple minutes for some folks to trickle in, and then we're going to get started. I think we have a good stream plan for today. I think it'll be fun. What up, Julie? Licious. How long do I plan to be on for? Until we're finished taking everybody's questions. Probably going to be a while. Got a lot to discuss. We are definitely in the most exciting time of being a GME shareholder in a long time. So, yeah, really excited, guys. I'll give it like, I said 4 o'clock, so I'll give it like 2 more minutes, and then we'll get started. Gymnasmac, am I going to get rich? Depends. Why don't the people in Jackie's stream like you? I have no idea, man. I don't know about that stream. Chance of an arcade tweet. I don't know. I guess 50-50. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if we get a tweet tonight, but not really expecting it. I don't think any arcade tweet is needed for the Meltup to begin. That I will say. Yeah, path to passive income via dividends after this. That would be great. I really cannot see dilution coming, Jacob. I really don't see it coming. All right, we'll wait 1 more minute and then we'll get started. Price target, we'll get there. We will get there. Because I am single-handedly ruining the stock price. I wish I had so much power. Yeah, I'm sure. What's up, Simon? Diornis, happy to hear that. Thank you, man. Happy you enjoyed them. Do I think SPYI, QQI, and IWMI would be good div split? Possibly. I'm not really a financial advisor. Legacy trader, I appreciate it, but probably not, for being real. Okay, let's get started. So, all right, important to zoom out a bit, obviously, to understand where GME is right now. So there's only been 3 weekly trigger, monthly trigger crossovers in history for GME. We'll start with this one. This was back in November 2013 into December. And the reason why this is kind of important, you guys are going to see in a minute, but just, you know, kind of keep these dates in mind. So first bullish trigger cross for GME came back here. And interestingly enough, the Bitcoin halving was at the end of November in 2012. And there was a period here of, after the halving, there was a period of about 125 days, 123 days, and then GME went vertical. All right, this is going to be some really interesting stuff, guys. So, you know, it might be a little complex, but just try to keep an open mind to it. And then about 123 days after that halving, GME skyrocketed 138% or so, and then consolidated sideways, got boring again. But keep in mind, this was the halving, and then about 123 later, we got ripping. Okay, moving on, we had another halving. This was 4 years later. But during this halving, you could see this bearish weekly trigger, monthly trigger crossover here, and that told us that bears have taken control of the stock price, and there was no upside. All right, so one halving, two halving, and then we get to the third halving right here. May 12th, it says May 11th, but I don't think I can move it to May 12th. 2020. Now, I'm going to show you guys something very interesting here. You could again see a period of consolidation after the halving, and about 109 days later, GME starts to go vertical. Okay, so keep this in mind, all right, because this is going to be very important. First halving, back here, crypto halving, sideways movement for about 123 days, and then things went vertical. Next halving, the weekly trigger was below the monthly trigger, and there was no upward price action. Third halving, we had sideways price action for about 100 days, and then of course things went vertical. Now, let's go to current date. And again, keep in mind that here we also had that bullish weekly trigger, monthly trigger crossovers. So in the past 20 years, there's only been two crossovers. One here, which led to a huge explosion, and one here, which led to a really big explosion. Moving now to 2024, current date and time. The Bitcoin halving was April 19th. And it happens to be that there was a big size pop after the Bitcoin halving. But what's really interesting to me is that we also have that period of consolidation. You could see there was this big pop, but then things got boring for a while. And after this period of consolidation is over and you get that bullish weekly monthly trigger crossover, that's when things start to pick up again. So to me, this all seems correlated to the Bitcoin halvings, where there's a halving cycle, there's nothing for a while, price starts to pick up, there's a bullish weekly trigger, monthly trigger crossover, and then into a squeeze. Now watch this, all right, so that I'm not lying, and you guys can Google the dates. You can Google the dates of the halving to show that I'm not lying. Look at the bullish weekly trigger crossover here, all right, because again, I showed this last week, but it's still a little bit unbelievable to me. So the crossover happened right here. It's called about, anywhere between 10 to 17 days from the halving to the bullish crossover. And from the bullish crossover, it took about 34 days to really start lifting. Now watch this. When you go from this Bitcoin halving to the bullish crossover, also just about 206, 208, the same exact time span. So, right, is that a coincidence? I don't know. Doesn't seem like it to me. It seems like the algos are extremely specific in what they're doing. So, yeah, I mean, here was really the crossover, about 207 days, and we really had the exact same thing here. We had about 206 days and then the bullish crossover. So again, I'm of the belief at this point right now that this is all correlated to the crypto halving cycles. I could be dead wrong, but I'm seeing enough evidence right now to support the theory. Again, GME was alive for 4 halvings. This one, bullish crossover, exploded to the upside. This one, no bullish crossover, no upside. This one, bullish crossover, exploded to the upside. And now the 4th Bitcoin halving, bullish crossover. What do you think comes next? Yep, explosion to the upside. Now, just to be clear, I do think GME is going to break all-time high. I think the squeeze is going to be ginormous. I think it definitely has potential to be bigger than this. And that's why I've been calling for a Meltup once the weekly trigger crosses above the monthly trigger. But we'll get into, kind of the step-by-step. What's the relation to Ethereum Classic? Great question. I'll get into that. BX Heat says, if that's the case, why are you claiming July as the Meltup? So if you watch any of the, I think 16 videos that I did, if you watch all of them, in every single video, I'm extremely clear and concise when I say I'm expecting a Meltup once the weekly trigger crosses above the monthly trigger. Now, although the weekly trigger was getting close to the monthly trigger for months and months, you could see back here in July, it was still very far, so I definitely wasn't calling for a Meltup here. In fact, I was calling for this not to be the Meltup, and I was saying that we weren't ready yet because the weekly trigger wasn't even close to crossing the monthly trigger. But I made a video every single week, every Sunday throughout this entire time frame, I think 17 videos now, saying that once the weekly trigger crosses above the monthly trigger, we'll get the melt up. So you can see how close it got for a long, long time, but it just wasn't ready yet. But last week, on Monday, we finally got that crossover, and this price action isn't really a coincidence. So BX Heat, I'm okay with taking heat when I give wrong predictions, but I'm pretty sure the vast, vast, vast majority of my followers and people that have watched the videos understood that when I said the Meltup will come once the weekly trigger crosses the monthly trigger, that of course I wasn't calling for a Meltup in July or August or September or October, because the weekly trigger hadn't crossed above the monthly trigger yet. So now we did get this bullish crossover, and we could look at Tesla over here, kind of in a similar spot. All right, let's zoom out a bit just to show you guys, kind of what you can expect. Oh, come on, so great question. I'll get to that in a minute. But you can see Tesla, the weekly trigger climbing